Good afternoon. Usually I come at the beginning. I just came in from New York City. I did not want to miss this. But at the beginning, I always sense there's a little more tension because you're not quite sure if you're going to make it across the stage. When I was back before I walked out here, I heard a lot of hooping and hollering, so you know you made it. So congratulations to this incredible class. And first of all, I want to thank your families, your moms and dads who instilled something in you that made you feel this spark of public service. Because this position, yes, it's available for others to apply for and pursue, but your parents taught you honor and decency and love of country and love of community. And so at this moment, I want to give a round of applause to parents and grandparents and siblings and everyone else who's out here, your spouses, your children, everybody who got you on this journey here today. And I want to thank our leadership team, Superintendent Bruin, Major Michael Eaton, the Director of Training, and also our clergy who are here today to remind us the presence of God in our lives and call upon God in your time of great need. Reverend Christopher Carrera, Our Lady of Grace Church, and you're going to be hearing from Rabbi Melnick in a few moments. I also want to acknowledge some key members of my team. Catherine Garcia, the leader of state operations, and I guarantee you're going to be seeing her out there because she battles everything from COVID to snowstorms and everything in between. So let's give a round of applause to Catherine Garcia, the leader of our state operations. Kelly Owens is here, our Commissioner of Victim Services. Anthony Annucci, our DOCS Commissioner, as well as I believe Senator Gallivan is in the audience. I usually have a long speech, my friends, but this is such an important moment. This is the first time as governor I've been able to address you, and as you heard from the superintendent, this has always been a priority of mine because it is a unique day, not just for all of you, in honor of what you've accomplished, and truly you are an elite group of individuals. 16,000 people took the exam to be sitting where you are. Another 1,700 were processed. But look who's sitting here, 227 individuals. You are the elite. You are the brightest, the finest, the most knowledgeable, the most committed to public service of all the individuals out there. And what you're going through today is, yes, is a tremendous graduation, a celebration of your work and commitment and sacrifice. But more importantly than today, it's what you're going to do tomorrow. And when you go forth out into society and on those roads in rural areas and into our cities and our airports, because the core of your duty is to help and protect other people. There is no more noble calling than that. None. It can be frightening. It'll put you under tremendous stress at times. But never forget that you are an ambassador from our state government to the people we all represent. 20 million New Yorkers are going to be looking to you when you show up with that uniform on in their time of greatest need. A mother on a dark road who's got a flat tire, got a couple of crying kids in the backseat. They don't know what to do. And all of a sudden, you pull up, you give them hope, you give them comfort. For someone who's had a family member overdose from heroin, like myself, people need you. Never forget that yes, you represent us. Yes, you are the face of law enforcement, and that is a noble calling. And I'm sorry you've been under siege for such a long time, our existing members, because I want this next generation of leaders, next generation of law enforcement, to encounter a public that respects and values what they do, because all of you will respect and value them equally. This is when we reset relationships. Starting today, going forward, the hallmark of your service will be that you've changed the hearts and minds of people who aren't accustomed to dealing with the face of law enforcement in a kind and compassionate way. You are setting forth on a new journey of building relationships in communities, many of which are under siege right now. And we've had to send in our state police to help out some of our cities. that are enduring a spike in crime. Sociologists years from now will be studying the causes. Was it the pandemic that really showed the frailty of the human condition and our challenges with mental health, substance abuse, domestic violence, and all forms of crime, hate crimes, assaults, thefts, attempted murder and murders in our streets? I'm calling upon all of you to help heal these wounds that are so deep in our communities and help us fight the specter of gun violence. Because there are guns coming in from other states, because we're not making all those here. They're coming up the pipeline from places down south, even as close as Pennsylvania. And I put together a task force led by our state police with other states to find those guns and stop them before they get to the streets of the Bronx where I was this morning. I'm putting all this on you. But I know you're up for it. I know you are. Because I've had a lot of encounters over my 7 years as lieutenant governor, now 7 months as governor, with our state police. And I've never ceased to be amazed by their professionalism, their commitment to their duty, and their willingness to go the extra mile to help people. And even our public service, our PSU, protective detail. These individuals have to keep up with me. Imagine what that's like. It's incredible what they go through. Never a word of complaint, never ever. Always out there, so willing to serve. They are the role models I look up to. No matter what the day is like, how long the hours are, they're out there doing their jobs. And that's what we're asking all of you to do. But truly, it's not just a job. This is a calling. It's a calling that you answered. And you're willing to put yourself through extraordinary circumstances and training. And I know all about EVOC training and the legal training you had to do. You're smarter than most lawyers out there with everything you had to learn. And the defensive tactics. You went through a lot. You're a changed person from when you started in the academy. You came from all walks of life. Fascinating. I saw your backgrounds. Some of you served in the military. Some senses this will be equally challenging. But at the bottom of it all, you're the finest public servants our state has to offer. Never forget that. And never forget the relationships that you're building and have built over your training period. The people that you've got to know through this class are going to have your back for the rest of your life. They're there for you to call upon, as well as many other people who've been through this, who want to mentor. There's a lot of veterans out there as well, and I see Senator Pat Gallivan, an outstanding elected official, but before that, he was a state police officer, proudly wore the same uniform, and now he serves in a different way. They're out there. You'll know them because they have that special look of pride to know they're a member of the New York State Police. You accomplished that. And I'm so proud of you. And I look out and I see the women in the audience as well. And I know there's special challenges of being women in what are perceived to be and actually are very male-dominated fields. That's my everyday existence. But we're up for it, ladies. We know you are. But one thing I'm going to commit to, I'm going to increase your ranks. So when I look out, there's more and more rows of you next time. And so we've signed a pledge, 30 and 30. 30% of our class by the year 2030, and perhaps even earlier, will be women, because we're going to do intentional recruiting. Go out there and talk about the culture of the state police and let you be the models for the rest of the state, other law enforcement entities, other workplaces, and say, this is an inclusive place. We protect people's rights. Harassment is not only condemned, it is rooted out and eradicated. This has to be a place where women feel valued as well. And to the men, I'm calling upon you to ensure that as well. Be the kind of coworkers and colleagues that I'm expecting of all of you. And we will increase the ranks of women And we're going to continue to diversify the ranks. But the people I'm looking at now are going to be part of that change. That's the weight of responsibility I've just put on all your shoulders. You feel it? It's not that heavy. I wouldn't have done it if I didn't think you're up to that task. You can handle it because you're New York's finest. To the families, once again, make sure you hug these individuals, cherish them, and all of you, when you leave each day, if you have a loved one at home, give them that extra kiss. Because life is uncertain. You never know what the day will bring. Every year we honor the fallen police officers we've lost over the 100-year extraordinary journey of the state police. Every one of them thought they were going to come back at the end of the day. That is why you realize that life is so very precious, you treasure it, and you live every single moment as if it's your last. That, my friends, when you look back, will be the hallmark of a life very well lived. Go forth. Make me proud as the class, my first class that I had a chance to speak to as a woman in, ironically, Women's History Month. We're all making history here. As I said, you are the class that is going to change people's perceptions of law enforcement by your deeds every single day, and the community will respect you. I respect you. I honor your service. And this is a whole new day for New York, and you are part of it. Congratulations. And may God bless you, and may God bless America and the great state of New York. Thank you, everyone.